The life and sad ending of Don Cornelius. Donald Cortez Cornelius was born on Chicago's South Side on September 27, 1936, and raised in the Bronzeville neighborhood. After graduating from DuSable High School in 1954, he joined the United States Marine Corps and served 18 months in Korea. He worked at various jobs following his stint in the military, including selling tires, automobiles, and insurance, and as an officer with the Chicago Police Department. He quit his day job to take a 3-month broadcasting course in 1966, despite being married with 2 sons and having only $400 in his bank account. In 1966, he landed a job as an announcer, news reporter, and disc jockey on Chicago radio station WVON. Cornelius joined Chicago television station WCIU-TV in 1967 and hosted a news program called A Black's View of the News. In 1970, he launched Soul Train on WCIU-TV as a daily local show. The program entered national syndication and moved to Los Angeles the following year. Eddie Kendricks, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Bobby Hutton, and Honeycomb were featured on the national debut episode. Originally a journalist and inspired by the civil rights movement, Cornelius recognized that in the late 1960s there were very few television venues in the United States for soul music. He introduced many African American musicians to a larger audience as a result of their appearances on Soul Train, a program that was both influential among African Americans and popular with a wider audience. As writer, producer, and host of Soul Train, Cornelius was instrumental in offering wider exposure to black musicians such as James Brown, Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, and Michael Jackson, as well as creating opportunities for talented dancers, setting a precedent for popular television dance programs. With the creation of Soul Train, Cornelius was at the helm of a program that showed African Americans in a new light, creating a Black is Beautiful campaign. Prior to Soul Train, African Americans were only occasionally performing on TV, mostly as guests on white-centered programs. Soul Train showcased African American culture and brought African American musicians and dancers to television. The show's appeal to white audiences grew and eventually earned a huge following. Besides his smooth and deep voice and his afro, Cornelius was best known for the catchphrase that he used to use to close the show. "And you can bet your last money it's all gonna be a stone gas, honey. I'm Don Cornelius, and as always in parting, we wish you love, peace, and soul." Then, he had a small number of film roles, such as record producer Mo Fuzz in 1988's Tapeheads. Cornelius last appeared on the episode of the TV series Unsung featuring Full Force, which was aired 2 days before his death. On October 17, 2008, Cornelius was arrested at his Los Angeles home on Mulholland Drive on a felony domestic violence charge. He was released on bail. Cornelius appeared in court on November 14, 2008, and was charged with spousal abuse and dissuading a witness from filing a police report. Cornelius appeared again in court on December 4, 2008, and pled not guilty to spousal abuse and was banned from going anywhere near his estranged wife, Russian model Victoria Avila Cornelius, who had obtained 2 restraining orders against him. On March 19, 2009, he changed his plea to no contest and was placed on 36 months of probation. In the early morning hours of February 1, 2012, police officers responded to a report of a shooting and found Cornelius on the floor of his home at Mulholland Drive with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Sadly, he was taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. He was 75 years old. An autopsy found that Cornelius had been suffering from seizures during the last 15 years of his life, a complication of a 21-hour brain operation he underwent in 1982 to correct a congenital deformity in his cerebral arteries. He was cremated, ashes given to family.